Remember that moment when your professional world collapsed? The fail project, the team crumbled, the promotion that went to someone else. What if that wasn't the end of your story, but the dramatic plot twist that makes it extraordinary? Today, let's transform your professional losses into powerful leadership assets. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Reinvention Lab, where ambitious women transform loss into legacy. Hosted by Master Certified Life Coach and fellow trailblazer Sandy Linda, this is your space to discover how life's biggest challenges can ignite profound transformation, where grief becomes growth, setbacks become stepping stones, and your unique story lights the way for others. If you're ready to turn life's challenges into opportunities for leadership, legacy, and forward momentum, you're in the right place. Let's dive in.
Hello, creative humans and fellow trailblazers. Hello to April 2025. Spring has arrived, bringing warm afternoons and chilly evenings wherever you are in this world. But isn't that how growth works? Moments of clarity and warmth, sprinkled by the cooler periods that test our resilience. Yesterday, I walked through the park, watching seedlings push through the soil that was frozen weeks ago. I realized this is like our personal transformation journey. Those buried narratives, the stories we tell ourselves about our failures and losses. They are like seeds that contain tremendous potential when we learn to nurture them differently. Now we are back on our journey of rewriting the meaning of your past to transform your future. Last week's episode, we explored deconstructing old narratives by recognizing challenging experiences and developing new future stories. Like the gardeners turning over winter's soil for new growth, we began clearing away limiting beliefs for something more empowering. I'm curious, did you try those reflection exercises to establish your new narrative? Perhaps you discovered deep-rooted stories influencing your leadership approach. Or maybe you saw the first signs of a new self-understanding. Today, I am continuing this spring transformation by exploring how to reconstruct empowered narratives, turning what once felt like losses into the seed from which your leadership strengths can blossom. You'll leave with practical tools to help you not just survive life-challenging seasons, but thrive. Remember Maria from our last episode? She applied for the executive manager position, but the company chose someone else. That rejection email changed how she showed up at work. Maria created a story that this rejection was permanent. She thought, they'll never select someone like me. She convinced herself her skills weren't enough to advance her career. So she started playing it safe and avoiding risks. Her inner critic, or the villain script that I said last week, kept screaming, no matter how competent you are, you don't deserve a promotion. This held her back from using her full potential and meanings. She stopped volunteering for high visibility projects and hid her strategic capabilities. But here's the twist. 6 months later, Maria found herself in the elevator with the VP, who made the hiring decision. Stick with me to the end to hear how she rewrote her narrative. I'm going to guide you through a powerful 5-step process to transform the stories you tell yourself about experiencing loss, especially relationship losses that impact your identity and leadership. By the end of our time together, you'll have practical tools to develop leadership strengths from past challenges. Let's dive into this reframing process. Think of it like updating the operating system of your mind. Your brain naturally creates stories to make sense of what happens to you. But you have more control over these narratives than you might think. The first step is creating a safe space for your feelings. Many of us rush to get over losses, especially in professional contexts where vulnerability isn't welcome. Here's what this sounds like. I feel a deep sense of disappointment since they reconstructed the team. I missed the daily interactions with colleagues who understand my work style. So right here, there's grief in this transition. Notice, no judgment here, just honest recognition of feelings. This isn't about dwelling on pain. Before moving forward, take time to understand and accept your emotional state. Now, I want you to think about a recent loss you've experienced. Have you given yourself permission to feel the full weight of it? Consider what emotions might need acknowledgement. Once you acknowledge your feelings, the second step invites you to notice what beliefs about yourself form after the loss. Remember Maria pursuing a leadership role? When she worked with me to identify her beliefs, she realized she internalized the message, they will never select someone like me. This belief affected how she showed up in her current position. She lacked full commitment, fearing rejection. Now it's your turn. What beliefs about yourself form a significant loss? Did you believe you weren't worthy of certain opportunities? Write these beliefs down. Naming them weakens their power over you. Now comes the fascinating part. Third step is examining whether these beliefs serve you. A lot of our beliefs are there to protect us, but sometimes they're not useful anymore. Think of it like this, as I recall back in the days. If you touch a hot stove as a child, believing stoves are dangerous, which is protecting you. But if that belief evolved into, I should not cook, it would limit your life. Let's return to Maria. When she questioned the belief, I'm not leadership material, she realized this belief was preventing her from forming deep connections with new colleagues and taking on high visibility projects. So I want you to ask yourself, is this belief helping me become the leader I want to be? Does it reflect the whole truth of who I am? Challenging long-held beliefs takes courage, but this question opens the door to transformation. The fourth step is where the magic happens. This is when you select a new interpretation that honors your loss and potential for growth. Let's revisit Maria, who had bumped into the elevator with her VP of the company. The VP said to her, Maria, I've been meaning to talk to you. That leadership position came down to you and Jason. We chose Jason because he had specialized experience with a particular account. Your work on the digital marketing project has impressed me. When the operations manager role opens next quarter, I hope you will apply. Maria was shocked. The story she'd been telling herself for months, that no one saw her leadership potential, was false. That night, Maria wrote about what happened versus what she had been telling herself. Her new interpretation looked like this. She shifted from, I wasn't selected because I lacked leadership potential to it wasn't the right role for me. The key is choosing interpretations that feel truthful, not just positive. Here are some powerful examples from my past failures and loss. And one of them was through my family and relationship. So instead of their absence means I'm alone, I implemented their absence has revealed my capacity for self-reliance and created space for new connections. And then instead of I failed at maintaining this connection, I considered this experience has deepened my understanding of human relationships and clarify what I need in professional partnerships. So we're going to turn it to you. What new interpretation might you choose for a loss you have experienced? How could you honor both the difficulty and the growth opportunity? The final stage is all about practice. New neural pathways need reinforcement to become your default thinking pattern. Think of it like learning an instrument. At first, you must consider every note. Eventually, your fingers know where to go without effort. Your new narrative works the same way. Maria created a morning ritual where she read her new narrative aloud. My value extends beyond any single role. I bring unique insights that contribute to new team success. Each transition reveals new strengths and opportunities for growth. She enlisted an accountability partner to redirect her when she slipped into old thinking patterns. 3 months later, she had a fresh perspective on workplace challenges. Now back to you. How might you practice your new narrative? Could you create visual reminders, set daily reflection prompts, or share your reframe with a trusted friend who can help reinforce it? Now that you have these powerful reframing tools in your leadership toolkit, I encourage you to connect today's practices with the reflection exercises from our previous episode on deconstructing narratives. Take those old stories you identified last week and apply this 5-step process to transform them. This is where the real magic happens, when you bridge awareness with action. Many folks I work with have shared with me how combining these two narratives created breakthrough moments in how they approach leadership challenges. As I close today, I want to acknowledge something important. Reframing is easy to understand, but takes courage to practice. Some narratives have deep roots in our identity. Be patient with yourself as you work through this process. Remember Maria in the elevator. If she had not encountered the VP of the company, she might have continued believing a story that limited her potential. But the truth is, that was never the only possible interpretation, regardless of what the VP said. Now, try applying our 5 steps. Acknowledge how it made you feel without judgment. Identify what you came to believe about yourself. Question whether this belief is serving your growth. Choose a new interpretation that honors both the loss and your potential. Create a plan to practice this new narrative daily. Again, this process isn't about denying reality or pretending losses don't hurt. It's about recognizing that multiple interpretations exist for every experiences, and some interpretations unlock leadership potential that others keep hidden. Your past doesn't determine your future. unless you allow old narratives to keep writing your story. You have the power to extract wisdom from every experience and create a leadership narrative that serves your highest potential. Next week is our final part of this series where I'll explore how to organize these new narratives into tangible leadership practices. Until then, I'd love to hear about your reframing exercises. Send us a message or leave a comment sharing a reframe that has shifted your perspective. Thank you for joining me on this transformation journey. I am confident the narrative you're creating will lead to extraordinary leadership impact. Have a great one, everyone. Bye.
Thanks for joining us on the Reinvention Lab. If today's episode inspired you, don't forget to follow and share it with someone who's ready to turn their challenges into opportunities. Want to take your journey to the next level? Visit sandylinda.com/program and apply for coaching today. Together, we'll turn your story into a legacy. Until next time, keep moving forward with purpose, passion, and power.